pretend. And that's all acting is. It's just pretending. So all the times that you're with your friends and you're pretending, you're acting. That's all it is. So then we talked about the theater and what we need, what actors need when they're up here on the stage, from their very nice loud voices to loud expressions. I told the kids a story. They picked the characters they wanted to play. We put on costumes and makeup. We had one rehearsal. And now we're ready to perform. I do this in a shorter amount of time because I know kids love to dress up, they love to pretend, but it's not a lot of fun to rehearse. And I wanted this to be a very kid-friendly experience and for it to follow the way a child learns and plays. So with that, I'd like to welcome you and welcome you guys. Come on up. You're just in time to hear the title. Oh, guys. Can you all stage should be? They're excited. Now, if you guys want for the little ones, you guys can come all the way in the front. We're good. You're good? Okay. So, all the way up, guys. All the way up. Our play today is called Rumplestiltskin. Once upon a time, in a land long, long ago, and far, far away, there was a king. Now, this king had a problem, and every day the king would say the same thing. He would say,
"I am so bored."
He would walk around his castle.
I'm still bored.
He sat down. He would take his afternoon nap. Now, it was during one of these afternoon naps, however, the king came up with an idea. When he awoke, he jumped up.
I have an idea.
He called for his guards.
Guards.
And the guards came marching on. The guards said good day to the king.
Good day, Your Majesty.
And then the king told him that he was going to have a contest.
I'm going to have a contest.
Now the guards asked what kind of contest.
What kind of contest, Your Majesty?
And the king said,
Go to the village. Tell the villagers if they can do something super awesome, something to make me say, wow, that's awesome, they'll win the contest. And they can be king or queen for a day.
And then the king left. The guards blew the royal trumpet. And suddenly, the villagers arrived. Some sat and some stood. And the guards marched over. And then the guards said the king was going to have a contest.
The king is going to have a contest.
The villagers grew very, very excited and they asked what kind of contest.
What kind of contest?
And the guards said,
if you can do something awesome, something that can make the king say, wow, that's cool, they win the contest. And they can be king or queen for a day.
The villagers looked at each other very excited, and they decided to go home and to practice. The king came out and sat upon his throne, And he asked the guards if they've made the announcement.
Have you made the announcement?
Yes, Your Majesty.
And then he said,
Let the contest begin.
so the guards sat. They blew the royal trumpet.
Ba-ba-da-dum!
And then the contest began. Now, the first villagers entered. They were very nervous. And they all said,
Your Majesty. Good day, Your Majesty.
now they wanted to butter him up. And so they said,
We love your haircut.
and the guards asked him what they could do to make the king say, wow, that's cool.
What can you do that makes the king say, wow, that's cool? We would like to sing for you.
So then they placed one hand on their stomach, one hand high in the air, and they hit the first note. They switched and hit an even higher note. They put both of the hands in the air and they sang as loud as high as they could. And then, when they were done, they said,
What do you think, Your Majesty?
and the guards called for the next villagers.
Next villagers.
Now the next villagers entered. They were very nervous. And
Good day, Your Majesty.
and then they wanted to butter up the king, and they said,
We love your outfit and your haircut.
and then the guards asked a question. They said, what can you do to make the
What can you do that makes the king say, wow? We can dance for you.
And so they started to dance. And they were done. And then they said,
What did you think, Your Majesty?
they began to cry. And the guards called for the
Next villagers.
Now, they were nervous, but then they said, and then they said, and so the first one put her head on her friend's head, and she said, and her friend said, and she placed her hand on her head and said, and she said, then they asked the king. They started to cry, and the guards called for the next villagers.
Next villagers.
Now, there was just one villager left. She looked out, and she was about to say hello, but something very odd popped into her mind, and she spoke it out loud.
I've been strong to go.
Whoa, that's awesome.
And then he told the guards to take her to the spinning room.
Guards, take her to the spinning room.
The king left, and they marched her to the spinning room.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
She sat down. The guards guards turned, looked out, they told her the windows and the doors were locked.
The windows and the doors are locked.
Then they turned to march off.
Hut to.
And she screamed for them to wait.
Wait!
And then she asked them a very strange question. She said, what happens?
What happens if you lie to the king?
The guards looked very worried. And they all said,
It's not good.
and then they said,
It's all through their head.
and then they said,
Have a good day.
and they marched off. The young maiden started to cry. She didn't know how to spin straw into gold. She didn't know why she said it. It just popped out of her mouth. Suddenly, out of nowhere, there came a strange creature. And then he simply told her to
Stop crying, I hate crying.
and then he said,
You know who could spin straw into gold?
Who?
Me, of course.
and then he asked a question.
What would you give me if I spin one bundle of straw into gold?
My ring?
Hand it over. What if I spin 2 bundles of straw
My
into gold?
necklace?
Hand it over. What if I spin all the straw into gold? What would you give me?
She had nothing left. And then he said,
I need a helper. I want your firstborn child.
she was shocked when she heard that. But what choice did she have? So finally she agreed.
Okay.
And then he gave an evil laugh. He looked and he said,
I'll be right back. Okay, I'm done.
and then he said,
Don't forget your promise.
he gave his evil laugh. The king came on. He asked if she had spun the straw into gold.
Have you spun the straw into gold?
Over there.
He was so impressed.
Wow, you actually did.
He knelt down on one knee. He took her hand. It happens very fast in fairy tales. All the dogs came out, and all the villagers. Everyone looked at the couple, and then they all said,
Long live the king and queen!
and 1 year later, the queen had a child, a baby girl, a princess. And someday, the strange creature arrived. And he said to the queen,
Hand her over.
the queen suddenly remembered her promise. She started to cry, which made the baby cry, which made the king cry, which made the guards cry, which made all the villagers cry. And the strange creature told them to stop.
Stop crying, I hate crying.
He told them how many days he would give them to guess his real name.
I'll give you guys 3 days to guess my name.
He gave his evil laugh. Now, all the villagers, they all said,
We must save the princess!
so they all wrote down all the names they could think of. And he said,
Let's play Guess My Name.
they started with the A's.
Is it Alice?
They went all the way to the T's.
Is it Thomas?
And finally to the Z's.
Is it Alice?
And at the very end, he told them none of them guessed his correct name.
None of y'all guessed my correct name.
He gave his evil laugh.
Ha ha ha.
And now they had only 2 more nights. So now they wrote down all the most unusual names they had ever heard or could think of. And on the second night, he appeared. He told them, it's time.
It's time to play Guess My Name.
And then they started on a very unusual path. They all said,
Is your name Cyrus? Is your name Chicken Lips? Is your name Dog Breath? Is your name Dog Breath?
at the end of the night, he told them that none of them had guessed.
None of y'all guessed my name.
He gave his evil laugh.
Ha ha ha.
They knew that they all had to go to the enchanted forest. So they all left the castle. Now, the enchanted forest can be a scary place because of witches and because of goblins and ghouls. But once they were in the forest, they hid. Now, they heard the owls. They heard the wind blowing. And suddenly, they heard this strange creature. He looked out, and then he said,
They will never win this game.
and then he looked out and he said his name.
My name is Rumplestiltskin.
And then he began to sing and dance.
Rumplestiltskin. Rumplestiltskin. Rumplestiltskin.
Not knowing he had been overheard, all the villagers went back. And on the 3rd and final night, he appeared.
It's time to
Wait! Is your name Rumplestiltskin?
No! Mommy, mommy!
He's not crying! He's crying!
And so he ran away, never to be seen or heard again. The princess was saved. Everybody lived.
Happily ever after!
Now, bells are singing.
Bells are singing. What do they say? Dance to joy and laughter. It's happy ever after. Ding dang dong. Thanks for watching our play.
Okay, third graders, if you could stay right where you are, parents, if you want to get a couple quick photos of all of them standing up there.
Yes,
Go
what we
ahead.
can do is I can set you guys up for a photo. I'm going to have King sit down here, King, and Baby, and King,
Thanks for coming.
and Rumplestiltskin right there, the baby, and you can have him right here where we're okay now. All right. Let me have guards right back here, guards over here. All right.
You're out.
Over on, singers over on that side. Singers over on that side. Slow down. Singers over on that side.
You're out.
Slow down. All right. Mind readers, go behind them. Standing up. Mind readers.
Just get out of the
Right here. All right.
it's hot in your room.
No shenanigans, please. No funny things. No lengthy things. Nice job.
Oops, sorry, you good?
Oh yeah, I'll get right over the top of it. It's the advantage. We'll have very similar pictures.
Hang on. Right there. Look out here, please.
You roll?
Good. All right. Thanks, guys. Yeah, you need to listen to Miss Carol now. She's going to have you, she's going to tell you what she wants you to do with the costumes and things. And again, if you want to leave your makeup on or when you work in the store, that's fine. If you want to wash it off, you go to the bathroom and wash it off. So make sure you take the costumes off. Thank you, audience, for coming. Thank you, parents, for coming.
I'll post this on YouTube.